Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. The hell's going on with this thing? Why does it say live in 23 hours, man? Does it not? It's lying to somebody. Hey, what's up, Congo? Welcome to the Heavy Breathing Show. Alexa, stop. How's it going, everybody? Yeah, it says live in 23 hours, but what the hell do I know? Anyway, we got a lot of stuff going on. And I was gonna, if I'm being totally honest with you, I was just gonna lower my head tonight and then just get to work and just do a bunch of shit. but, um, but no, a couple people said, "Hey, you gonna stream tonight? I want to check it out." That kind of thing. Hey, what's up, Dave? Um, and so I was like, you know what? Let's just turn on the camera, and I will actually just tell you guys exactly where I'm at right now. So I built everything for Shadows of Brimstone already, including making some like ghost town style bases for them. They're outside right now. The primer is drying on them. Did a couple layers of primer, and so tonight I was planning on like blocking colors for Shadows of Brimstone, but who knows? By the time they're dry, by the time they're ready to handle, um, well, hey, what's up, God? Hey, you can stream tonight. Yeah, I guess so. It would help if I actually turn the comments on this thing, right? Instead of us looking at this like black cube at the top of the thing. Let's see. That'll give us something to do. And I mean, I have stuff that I need to work on, but I don't know. Um, but it's just I'm in a weird spot right now. I'm kind of like in a weird in between what the hell is going on spot. So I'm going to kind of juggle projects, and I do that quite a bit. So so just bear with me. I hope. There we go. Okay. Black cube, that's racist. Nothing gets past you guys. Nothing at all gets past you guys. Yeah, so anyways, we have a little bit of a, how was Ninja Night? I missed the stream. It got, that last night escalated really quickly. And I'm gonna blame freaking Andrew and Dizzy for ruining the game. I'll just say it. I'll just say it. Like we had a, we basically it was set up to be like a Mansions of Madness style scenario, where they gain a bunch of like fear tokens and that sort of thing, and the only way they're supposed to clear the fear tokens was by taking a drink. The problem was like two things. Andrew had way too many characters. And so when he got spooked, everybody in the party got spooked. And that was like a lot of people had to drink at the same time. And then for some reason, they got me to a point where I was I was susceptible to suggestion. And they were saying, oh, well, let's boost our rolls. Like Andrew kept saying, I'm going to boost this roll by 3. I'm going to drink half my bottle and we're going to roll 4 more dice. And yeah, and it like I got like really drunk really quick, to the point where, oh, hey, what's up, Nelson? I got really drunk like really fast, and it was hard for me to keep up with the game. Things started to break down. Like I'm like rambling, went off on tangents, told a weird fucking story, uh, nearly passed out in the middle of it, and then came back. And towards the end of the stream, I was rallying and I was ready. By the time I was ready to get back and actually finish the scenario, even though we were like 99, we'll call it 98% done with the scenario. By the time I was ready to come back and finish it, it was like, I don't know, probably 3 a.m. Well, no, probably 1:30 a.m. when I was like back to sober again, sober enough to run. But it's goddamn Power Gamers decided. Yeah, so no, yeah, pretty normal for our Fridays apparently. But yeah, they power gamed initially to to like they were clearing the fear tokens immediately, and then at some point, I think it was Andrew that was like, "Oh, I'm going to boost my roll," and for some reason, I just agreed that that was okay. And then he pushed it further and said, "I'm going to boost my roll. I'm going to drink like the rest of this bottle, and we're all going to drink together." And that's what kind of like that's what happened. Like you push it too far. Like you're normally, what you want to what you want to do, and I actually try to do it with the mechanics, is just get you enough to where you're taking a drink. We'll call it every 5 to 9 minutes. I would run the board. There's a lot of comments going by. Sorry if I'm not keeping up. I'm actually not drinking tonight. I might a little bit just to keep myself loose, but not too much. Power, power drinking is a boost. If you took my advice and just started killing when they power game. I know, man. You like went kind of hurt. Like you were like, just kill all of them, kill the whole damn party. And Nelson was like cool in the cuff, man. He was just sitting there waiting for his turn, and it was like it was basically Andrew and Dizzy trying to get me to drink even faster. In their defense, they said, "Hey, you don't have to drink," but it was too late by that point. Like they pushed me over. They pushed me over that edge of like, okay, if anybody says the word drink, I'm picking up something and drinking it, because you just get susceptible to that kind of shit. But anyway, snake bites for me. Um, Nelson sat in the one room the whole game. Well, actually, he didn't make it out of his room, and neither did Andrew. Dizzy made it out of her room off of a really lucky early roll. Like she found the chest early, matched it, got her key, and then she should have been out of there. But yeah, and by that time though, man, I was just gone. I'm gonna work on this a little bit. We're gonna build this guy a little bit. I don't know. It depends on like how much glue I have left. But overall, yeah, it was a fun game. We'll call it a little bit of a learning experience though, because you really should not be drinking that fast. And the scenario is not designed to for you to get drunk that fast. Another mistake I think that I made was I should have, once I rolled the moon phase, I should have just gone through a normal moon phase rotation the way the game is regularly played. Isn't that would have made it a little bit easier to handle all this kind of stuff. That's a problem. There's a way I can, if there's a way I can get the sword to be, what I want is I want the sword to be like, ooh, what if I went that way? And then I just cut the wrist here, cut it at the wrist, and then turn the wrist so that it's like that. That would be kind of cool. I don't even have to do that. I could even just cut that here, pin that way. I think that's easier. All right, let's do a little bit of work here while I read the comments that are going by. All you had to do, yeah, Nelson was content opening bot. Well, he was actually playing the scenario. the other two were just sort of, let's fucking drink as hard as we can and see if, let's see if we can just break the DM. And it worked, so I can't really criticize them because that shit worked. Okay, I gotta find the rest of the bits here. Let's see. Hard for Andrew to leave a room when a stranger dragged him into a corner. Stranger danger. I was gonna get guild ball kits, but the new Necromunda make the Venus the big Venus. I guess, man, you're going for it. What the hell? Yeah, I gotta find specific arms and things. I need the dynamite hand. But yeah, overall it was fun. I don't know if I got to decide next week if we're. I mean, we probably should wrap up the campaign, but I'm just so freaking hyped to try Shadows of Brimstone that I may want to do that instead. Depending on how far like I get into painting, like maybe it's ready by Friday, maybe not. Right now it's looking like it's really going to depend here on the next couple of days, like how far I'm able to get. Wow, that was a lot of. It was like a chain reaction of stuff falling over. Hold on, that wasn't good. Why does that? Why can't that just sit still? You want to get Blood Bowl? There is a part of me that deeply, deeply misses Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl has been one of my perennial favorites for at least a decade. Love Blood Bowl. I love the whole. I love what a lot of people hate about Blood Bowl, which is the sudden death rule. I love the sudden death rule, and the reason why I love the sudden death rule is because it changes the way you look at these miniature games entirely. It's such a really cool thing, and it can like bend your brain trying to figure out how to do that. Uh, I just want to yell like an orc in a sports setting. Yeah, well, yeah, Blood Bowl. That's what you would do. Um, oh gosh, I am gonna have to do some pinning here. Okay. Well, I mean, we got the time. I'm still waiting for the primer to dry on that other stuff. So let's just work on it. But yeah, it's I already the next scenario is essentially the last scenario for the Ninja All Stars campaign. It's the last in that particular story setting, so we don't have to. So the idea is that might be a good time to just switch games at that point. You know, we would go. My thought here is we would go play basically a generic game of Shadows of Brimstone. I kind of have everybody's character picked out based on what I know about them. So I'm just going to give them a character that I think they'll be comfortable with, just to learn the game. And then at that point, you know, they can decide if they want to keep if they want to keep that character or not, or if they want to roll a new character. That's entirely up to them. And then from there, whoa. And then from there, I'm hoping we actually can just get into, you know, playing Shadows of Brimstone. I think it's everything I've seen of the game looks amazing. I'm super hype on it. So, you know, hopefully, you know, we like it. If we don't like it, well, there's plenty of other games for us to play. We can always go back. We can always go all the way back to Mansions of Madness and play that, because that's just a fantastic game. And that's kind of where the whole Friday night fiasco stuff started, was Mansions of Madness. Oh God, did I? Ooh, that is going to be interesting. So like that, or like that. All right. Well, we got that crazy putty stuff that Dizzy recommended for me, so we'll try that out too. Yeah, Shadows of Brimstone does run like a campaign. You can also play one-off games of it. My instinct there tells me though that the one-off games probably aren't the greatest games, you know, because you're going to be getting like experience, you get like XP and gold as a reward, and who cares if you're just playing a one-off game? So, you know, chances are if they're playing and, you know, their characters do well, they'll say, okay, I'm just going to keep this character and play the character for the next, for the rest of the campaign. Or they can say, oh no, I want to play a different character. I'll roll a different character. there are two characters I'm really looking at that look interesting to me. Out of the base set, I'm really liking the Marshal, because whenever we play like MMOs and that kind of stuff, I always play a tank, and he was described as sort of the tanky character. I think he has access to a heal as well. I don't know. I've just always played a tank. So I'm interested in that character, and then I'm interested in one of the limited edition characters, or not limited edition characters, but I guess he's either an expansion character or something. But I'm interested in him because he's just a really cool theme. So, yeah. The other thing too is I put together the regular PC characters, the PC minis, and I was not terribly impressed with them. So we're probably going to be able to like use a bunch of different proxies. Like I might use Malifaux minis, or even like Wild West Exodus, because both of those ranges have really cool sculpts, and we would, and I have a bunch of Malifaux stuff already painted too. So if one of them said, hey, I wanted to play, I want to play the showgirl, but I don't really like, or sorry, the saloon girl, but I don't really like the sculpt, I would agree with them and say, okay, well, I have an entire crew of showgirls, and we could just pick one that we like, and you can play that showgirl. Or there's even, even the Wild West Exodus stuff that I bought the other day. Like we can look at those sculpts and pick something from there too. So yeah. Have you ever played the Others board game? I've been looking at that one quite a bit too. That one also looks really interesting to me. But I'm gonna my other buddy Gabe has that game, and we'll see. I think I may get in a game day with him and our other friend. And if so, then then I can look at the others as well. There's just too many games. There's way too many, and it can be quite a bit to look at. Okay, so let's figure out how exactly I'm going to pin this. The minis are, I saw some of the minis are pretty damn cool. But Shadows of, the Shadows of Brimstone got me when a friend of mine messaged me, and he said, Shadows of Brimstone is what Kingdom Death and Malifaux tried to do in their own different way. So he had he actually made two different statements by saying that, because Malifaux, when he said Malifaux, sorry, he was talking about Malifaux trying to get that story and setting across. Malifaux as a Weird West, uh, basically mining ghost rock and that sort of thing, right? So he was saying, okay, this Shadows of Brimstone does it better than Malifaux did it. Than Malifaux has attempted to do it. Like they do it better, right? When he says that they did it Kingdom Death the way Kingdom Death should have gone, he's talking about the actual mechanics of the game. He says that it as a cooperative dungeon crawler, it does a better job. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's his opinion on it. We'll find out. It's tough on players. Yeah, this one is going to be, I think the main challenge with us playing Shadows of Brimstone remotely is going to be, making sure I'm doing the correct record keeping, and that the players have some means of going back and seeing, what's on their character cards, what their progression looks like. So we're going to have to handle that through, I don't know, I was thinking like a Dropbox or a shared thing where they can actually, where we would just update their character sheets, and then they can view what's going on from there. So that might work. I'm not, or I should say, I'm hoping that will work. I wish Valkyria Chronicles would get a board game. Ooh, got a little patchy there, huh? Got a little laggy. I've been wanting to play Shadows, but still waiting on my friend to finish painting the models. Why don't you get in there and paint them? Paint them models yourself, man. The models for Shadows they're decent. They're decent minis. I like that they're hard plastic, because then I can use plastic cement. And life is always better when you can use plastic cement. So that's cool. But that's almost, I want him to be holding the sword here like level. It's actually not bad. I can probably do it like that. Oh, I almost glued it on that way. I should paint Dreadfleet. Okay. They've been primed since the game came out. Oh, Dreadfleet. I played a couple of games of Dreadfleet. It seemed okay. It seemed kind of fun. Yeah. It seemed okay. I just don't really play those odd scales like that. I don't play. I always stick to. I've always kind of stuck to, 25 to 35. I've always kind of stuck to those scales. Oh gosh, what if man, like that? What if I did that? We can fix it with the putty. We can fix that with the putty. We'll patch it with the putty. We're gonna let that dry for a second. So, whoa. So it'll be a very slight conversion, just enough because I want her, I'm gonna have her actually standing on the blade, which is gonna be nuts, but that's kind of what I want. I want it to look like she's, shooting off of the blade. And so I kind of need the blade to sit, relatively level. And the pin isn't quite helping me there. There we go. Hey, what's up, Blade Wolf? I got too many minis in waiting, but life keeps effing getting in the way. Sure does. I've got, I got to pack a bag tomorrow. I'm going to Chicago for the better part of a week. And that means everything that I'm doing here is going to be on hold until I get back. So, I'm not in the middle of like a crazy commission or anything like that, so that's good. I do have the only thing I really like business-wise coming back to is I'm doing a repair here on one of Nelson's minis, and then I have an eBay auction going on. Is there anything else? This goes somewhere. There's a smokestack. Where do these go? There's stuff like this. We got to find like where that goes. It's weird to me that I've never built this mini. Just never built Calico Kate's Relic. Let's see. Too bad they canceled Toronto on me. Yeah, actually, we were, we looked at the fourth quarter budget and decided we really need to kind of cut costs, keep ourselves in a good spot to close out the year. So we just canceled that site. We canceled actually quite a few. Like, I'm actually relieved because at the beginning of summer, I was like, okay, I'm going to go on probably different, four different cross country trips. So I was like, I was kind of dreading that. I'm like, that's a lot of travel. I used to do a lot of travel for my work, but it's, when I had my first kid, I basically told my boss, like, we're gonna delegate a bunch of this stuff out because I'm just not gonna do that. Like, I have a kid at home. I'm not gonna travel any more than I need to. Um, and he was cool with that. So we went that way, and then and then this last year it was like it's just starting to look more like, there's a bunch of company priorities that are saying that I need to be out on the road, and I'm cool with it. It's they gave me my time off, relatively speaking, um, from the road, and now it's like, well, I better get back to it because we got a bunch of stuff about to go down here. That's not bad. Let's could have kidnapped you one night. Yeah, that would have been cool. I wouldn't mind. Yeah, take me to a bar too. Would love that. Where the hell does this go? I do not know. Where the hell does this go? There's this piece here. Do not done. Oh, it goes there. How weird. Why do you need? I don't know. It's just weird. All right, so we'll put that in here. Put that in here. So I'll finish gluing this. So ideally, what I want to do with this Relic Knights thing is I want to save it for we'll call uh, more scheduled type streams, if that makes sense, right? So if um, you know, uh, Dizzy and I talk about doing more streams together. So if we're gonna do one together and people don't want to watch me paint 30 minis at once, I would break out this mini because this is kind of this mini's like a slow burn compared to the other stuff. So that's why I'm not totally pushing on with this one. It's gonna be This is my sort of one-off project that, okay, well, we just want to stream, you know, have a little bit more of a focus stream, maybe something that we're working on together, like Relic Nights. If we both say, okay, we're going to do a Relic Night stream, that's what we would do. Is I would break out this mini, paint that mini, um, and yeah. So let me. I always got to figure out where the pin needs to go. Pin's going to go here, and then let me go bring in some of those Shadows of Brimstone minis. I found a place with QK Kates at the online shop and I ordered one so I could be able to paint my Kate like K. Sweet. That should be good. All right. There we go. Okay. So we'll set this aside for a minute. I'm hungry. I need something to munch on. So give me a second, guys. I'm gonna take like a 30-second break here. I'm gonna put us on mute and I'm gonna head over, grab myself a snack and get the Shadows of Brimstone minis, okay? Okay. Hey, everybody. Sorry for the really brief intermission there. But yeah, we're back. Grabbed a little bite to eat, a little bathroom break, and got my Shadows of Brimstone minis back in. So we're looking pretty good. A lot of cool stuff to show you. So I'll show you the Shadows of Brimstone minis. They're still a little bit tacky right now. So I'm going to try to handle these with care. I just, instead of doing my normal airbrush primer, I just hit them with a couple of spray cans. So spray can of black, like a black satin, and then just a real light mist of the P3 white. So so we got tentacles like this. I struggled to figure out like what I was going to do with the bases exactly. We're talking about some Guild Ball there. Got my butchers built and primed today. Nice. I just got to learn how to play. Well, I can totally help you with that. I mean, the demo I did with Nelson, I thought went pretty well. And I think there was some good explanation there. But you know, again, we can always do more, that kind of stuff if you wanted to learn. So you get these tentacles. There's all kinds of like, you know, interesting little gribblies you get. So you get stuff like, uh-oh, that was bad. Hold on. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, this is way too tacky for me to work on. Now I'm gonna have to let these dry a little bit. But hey, while it's off the base, I can show you what the bases look like. So I did the bases. You can see they're kind of like a, you can see the wood plank there, and then they also have some gravel on there. So this is, I'm calling this like a ghost town base, almost like, okay, yeah. So it was like there could have been a saloon or something standing there, but that has since, you know, been destroyed under the whatever cataclysmic event that triggered Brimstone to come crumbling down like that. So we got stuff like that. We got the tentacles. We got some big guys, like bigger monster guys. I'm afraid to pick stuff up now. See if I can. Oh man, I'm afraid to like move this stuff. I think it needs to dry. I think this stuff needs to dry a little bit more here. I grabbed one. I can grab one to show you. I just don't want to fire up a hairdryer this late at night, and I also don't want to, because they're plastic, I don't want to overheat them. But you got stuff like this, and I think the bases are gonna look freaking awesome once they're painted. They're gonna look good. They're gonna look weird on the tentacles, and that's what we're gonna work on. Boring shit tonight, so I apologize. We are gonna work on the tentacles and the spiders. So this is like mostly the boring stuff. For my cherry blossom treatment, I'm thinking of priming white. Yeah, for sure. If you want a really nice, bright, crisp color. Let me show you guys what the character models look like. Oh God, maybe not. Let's give them another hot minute to dry here. But we also have these spiders here, and these are going to be interesting too because they don't have any bases. So I'm just going to have to like spray them real quick and then not touch them. But I get 12 of these I can play with, and the primer has dried a lot longer on these because I actually primed these a little bit earlier in the day. Dog needs to pee. The dog piss. Dog piss on everything, man. So we need to decide like what kind of colors we're going to paint this stuff. I am going to keep the palette fairly limited. Like I really want most things to be green or purple. Like, you know, kind of creepy, nauseating green, or like psychotic purple pink is where I'm going with these. Alternately, I could do, I've seen blue, or I could do more like alien style and do flesh color, which would look interesting, especially on these. They'd look interesting. You do like the, you know, skin colored spiders. Yeah, that, even this primer is still tacky. Psychotic purple pink. Yeah. Yeah, that I could do that. I'm gonna think this over for a minute. I'm gonna get Kate out of the way so that she doesn't get hit by all this crud. The problem I have with if I like have these interim projects, they just hang out on my desk for a long time, and then that can become an issue. Let's start picking some colors though. All right. So, psychotic purple pink. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like they do look like face huggers too. So I could paint them that face hugger color. And that might look kind of cool. And then you know what we can do is we can paint them that face hugger color and then just add little bit of purple tones to it and make it look, you know what I mean? Just so you can tell it's still sort of Cthulhian, for lack of a better term, right? So I can start painting this the same way I would do skin. And then just like, and then fade it out to a purple. And then likewise with the tentacles, I could do the tentacle portions like skin and then fade the main tentacle into a purple. So I'm starting to like this plan quite a bit. It's a good plan. I'm excited to be part of it. What color are they in the book? I don't know. I can look. Let's go see. What color are they in the book? Look like they're kind of blues. It's hard to tell because, you know, they're in a cavern, but they look like sort of blues and just sort of whatever the reflected lights are. I'm gonna bring these books with me on my trip and just read them cover to cover while I'm out. Yeah, then they have the artwork in the book. The void spiders are kind of a light blue, bluish to purple, and so are the tentacles. But I don't necessarily want to match the yeah, I don't. These are all good suggestions. I'm not trying to like just ignore you guys. These are good suggestions. I just I think I'm gonna follow kind of my own sort of design here with regards to these and just see. I gotta get this stupid cord out of the way. Just see what I can come up with. Welcome back, Dave. Yeah, let's just do it, man. This is my process. I always just I go at a color, and then if I don't like it, I change it. It's a very complex Decision tree. Oh gosh, I'm really, really low on airbrush thinner. This is going to be interesting. I hope I don't have to end up having to order airbrush thinner to finish this. Maybe I can make it. I'll order some while I'm gone so that by the time I get back, I have a bottle of airbrush thinner waiting here for me. They yo minis, bruh. Paint them how you want. Yeah. Thanks, man. That's what I was planning to do. Yeah, I think a skin color would be good. Skin color all the way out to a weird kind of a purpley tone. And for skin color, though, you do want to start off with a brown or a red brown. So I'm going to do this. I picked up this color the other day, this Hull Red. I think it's going to look pretty awesome if I do that. All right, let's see what we got. Not bad. Yeah, they do look like face huggers. That's so. Let's just do it, man. Shut up and paint them. And hoping those other ones dry a bit so that I can paint more. I just want to get all the like rank and file stuff done as quickly as possible. Because once you get past that, that's like with any big project like this. Once you get past that rank and file and you're feeling comfortable, like confident with the rest of the job, then you're golden. All right. So you're going to do some Hull Red. This is going to come in, I'm going to come in pretty light with this. And kind of let those, let the natural pre-shading stuff show. Skin with a purple wash like bruising. Not quite bruising. You're just going to have to see it. Well, I'll just show you what I'm doing here. Okay. That looks okay. So I'm just giving this these guys a quick undertone. Basically just shoot the underside and shoot the top side. It's more important to get the underside with this brown. And when you get the top side, it's more important to get towards the top of the model. I do appreciate that these spiders are all one piece. That was kind of nice. I was kind of dreading, I was kind of worried that I might have to be gluing all the individual legs to the spider main body. That would have sucked. So you can see the whole red there, just sort of, it's almost just forming just the middle part of the model. So these are hard plastic minis. They're not the best quality hard plastic, but they're hard plastic. Like I can still use plastic cement on them. They're gonna take paint fairly well. I like that. Like I appreciate that about these minis. Fallout Wasteland Warfare is another game I'm excited about. I used to have the starter for Starship Troopers, but it got lost. Oh, I was talking about that game the other day. The Starship Troopers miniatures game. Like, I wanted to rock that game. I'll play that. Oh gosh. You can tell here that the primer is not dry on that one. So that one's gonna look a little weird. But it's again, when you're doing stuff like this, at least the way I do it, I'm going for overall effect. I don't need individual pieces to look fantastic. In fact, most of the time they won't. But when you see them all on the board together, you see a horde of these like spiders crawling at your characters. That's what I want it to look creepy as all hell. And I should be able to get that effect fairly easily with the colors I've chosen, and and with the quality of these sculpts. There we go. All right. And then we're going to do the, they have the pop-up on eBay every now and then. Oh, you're talking about the Starship Troopers game? That's cool. I just have too many games. I always talk about games I want to get into, but it's like, reliably speaking, I'm really just sort of talking shit because I don't have time to get in all these games. No way. Do you have time to get in all these games? I play like six or seven different games as it is. And then my board games never even, like, until now, until we started doing the online thing. Ooh, got a clog. Oh God, yeah, got a clog. It's AD. It's Wargamer ADD. Every wargamer. This is true. We all suffer from this, dude. How did it just die like that? I have a pretty severe clog here. Oh man, bad night. All right. Detail work. I'm going to clear out this airbrush. I'll clean it in a little bit. I hear I'm a big sufferer of that. I know I am. I'll be the first to tell you. I have that, and I have this sort of weird ability to get people to follow the games. So that's kind of a bad combination. Wow, this airbrush completely gave up. I can't get. Wow. Yeah, I'm really gonna have to take this one apart and clean it. But I'm not gonna do that right now. We're just gonna move on. I'm just gonna switch over to the other airbrush. And I'll clean this one in a minute. Yeah, that one, these airbrushes are also quite old, so. What happened? Could it be the valve? Yeah, maybe it's the valve. Whatever. Let's go. Ooh, wait a minute. This airbrush also needs a good clean. Jeebus. What was I doing my last job? Must have been like really just in a rush to close out and forget that any of this ever happened. Yeah, gamer ADD is normal. I almost feel like there's for miniature wargaming that you almost kind of have to have part of this like procrastinator you know, unrealistic expectations thing baked into your personality. You almost kind of have to have that baked in, because everybody does it. Like, even I do it, and I tell people, like, oh no, I play everything I put on the board is painted, and I try to play everything I buy. That's what, you know, I kind of pride myself on that. But even then, I definitely have the ADD. I definitely have, you know, a lot of these, oh, I'm totally going to get into this game. I'm totally going to play this game, and I'm going to back a Kickstarter and spend $4,000 on it, and then it's going to come in. I'm going to see all those minis at once and puke in my shoes, and then we won't paint them all. um, you know, I painted almost all my Ninja All-Stars, but even then, I still got a bunch of Ronin there that I did not finish painting, and I need to paint. So, you know, let's just be real, man. That's going to be my next big purchase in airbrush. They are a massive time saver. You'll witness that tonight, if anything, and witness how quick you can go with a freaking airbrush when you're just painting, especially when you're just painting like rando gribblies like this. Damn, I have half a mind to pull those other guys and start hitting them with these colors, but maybe they're still stuck. Ugh. I'm worried. Can I pull them off? There's only 6 of them. Just don't break them off their bases, and I can do that. Let's do it. Let's just paint a. Oh, I just broke one off its base. Never mind. Crap. I want to get an airbrush, but my house currently isn't airbrush friendly. I hear that. I have nothing. Unfortunately, I have nothing good to say to you about that. I don't know what to. Oh gosh, just. There, just stay like that. Just stay like that, Mr. Gribbly. Don't you fall off your base. And we can be friends. Oh, we're just gonna. Let's just paint, dude. Let's see how many of these things we can do at once. We'll just load up the whole damn table with this stuff. And do it all. Because the more I do now, the less I'll have to do when I get back. There we go. Let's shoot some gribblies. So these guys will also have that skin tone to them. And then they're also going to have kind of that purplish. Oh gosh. That guy's a giant gap there. Yeah, some of these guys have giant gaps. Woo, woo, woo. Built my own spray booth using a cardboard furnace filter and a table fan. Nice. I mean, normally what I do is I normally just ventilate this room. I know it's not very good. I should probably spend a little more effort trying to clear it out of here, but I don't know. It's okay. It's not. It hasn't been terribly bad for me. Okay. Just so much things. There's so much things going on. Wow, this is kind of like playing the game. Like I'm getting surrounded by all these like tentacle things. And now I'm having to try to fight them off. Fight off waves of them coming in. Ah! With my trusty airbrush gun here. Whoa, sorry about that. Let's see. Those creatures are dreadful looking. I hope they eat Nelson's character. Congo is just angry, dude. Why are you so angry, man? It's actually funny. Nelson has a little bit of like some internet cred going on because he's got people hating on him on the internet. He can show up. He can show up to E3 and be on a panel. Harassment online, toxic environments. Yeah, I'm just trying to play my board game with my friends. Damn, Congo and Greenleaf Terrain and all that shit come on and they tell Octave to kill all my characters. All right. Okay. That's enough of this color. Right? Actually, I probably should spray a little more underneath. Make sure all the underneaths look good. As you can see, this is a very, very precise process. Whoa. Just making sure, this is how you do 24 minis at the same time. You just basically just shoot the shit out of them. More like bloodthirst. Okay, fair enough. I can actually kind of see that position too, because like if I was watching, game streams and stuff, it's more exciting to see like, hey, what happens? What would happen? Character, watching one of a character die, something like that. That'd be interesting. Pretty sure my Shadows of Brimstone character is gonna die. It's pretty rare though. Like it's like all these other like campaign style games. Like yeah, you roll injury rolls and stuff, and bad stuff happens to your character, but them actually dying is fairly rare. I say that now. Maybe that's the very first injury roll I ever make. Is me dying. Okay, cool. So now we'll move on to a skin color. I hate batch painting. Yeah, batch painting sucks. But batch painting gets the freaking job done, so. I'm not exactly going for high art with these. There's still, especially on the tentacle guys, there's a bunch of gaps. There's stuff I could be doing to make them more presentable. Okay. Corn is my favorite chaos god, and I like it when the RPG players face hardships. Yeah, you do. I mean, that's what makes it entertaining. You want to see these guys face some hardships. So I was gonna go with a color like this, heavy warm gray, but it's not. I don't know. I think that's not quite what I want. I think I want this color here, tanned highlight, probably a little bit better. I want something a little more yellow going over these as the base color. By the way, what's up, Canvas? Welcome to the stream. So I'm going to add this tanned highlight in. We're going to treat it like a zenithal. So I'm just gonna lay it down more like a highlight color and then try to cover up some of this whole red. Let's hope I thinned it enough. It's always a little bit dicey with these. Whoa. It just like, okay. So we'll start with the spiders again. Definitely taking on a more face hugger type look as the skin color comes in. It's the same reason why we watch shows like Wipeout and The Wacky One, the Japanese and American dub did. Yeah, it's true. Like, you want to see the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Okay. This is just so freaking haphazard. You just gotta. What's a good size needle to get when sizing an airbrush? In general, most of your painting, like your airbrush painting, is going to be done with a 0.3. If you're using your airbrush for priming, 0.5 is usually where you want to go. And if you like to do a lot of detail work, then 0.2 or 1.5 is where you're going to want to be. This particular airbrush that I'm shooting right now is a 0.3. So this is a little more, for me, this is a little more the workhorse size when I'm doing this type of work, where it's not terribly precise, but it's not priming either. Good question, Dave. But yeah, we are batch priming the shit out of these. They're just, because when you put the spiders down, it's kind of, you know, when you're working with these, like the sort of chaff here, you're going to put them down in a large group. You want that group to look good together and you want them to look fierce, but you're going to start removing models almost immediately. So, you know, you don't have to sweat it too bad, like trying to get this really good display quality out of them. So when we get to the purple part of this, I am probably going to want to switch back to that 0.2. Okay, thanks. Just so I have an idea what to get. Yeah. I say get a Masters G233 that comes with a kit that has a 0.5, a 0.3, and let go of my finger. You know, it has those three sizes I was talking about, so you can switch in and out of them pretty quickly. Okay, we got this one here. All right. You can see this is just going through quick. Can't wait to paint the Escher gang for Necromunda. I'm going with Wildcat Scheme, and it's going to be fun. Colors I don't normally use. Nice. That's cool. So all these creatures they all kind of share the palette. Even the big boss kind of shares their palette. But I'm not gonna paint him right. I'm not gonna start painting him. Right now we're just gonna get these guys underway. I feel like I want another layer of skin, another layer of flesh tone down. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch to the 0.2, and I'm going to go with, I think I am going to go with that heavy warm gray. And then we got to start, and then we'll work the purple in, and then we're going to start, then I can start looking at, looking at details for these. Let's see if that 0.2. Yeah, the 0.2 is still a little bit, got a little bit of a clog to her. Maybe I can, oh, that was nice. I think I can fix this pretty quick. There we go. Just blow out the rest of that. All right. So now we're gonna go, yeah, flesh spiders. Right. Skin spiders. Ew. All right. Heavy warm gray. And we're gonna go a little more stylized with the heavy warm gray. We're gonna get a little more selective as to where this actually goes. Oh, if I can get my gloves to. All right. Okay. Let's see what we got. That should work. Oh God, there's just so many on the board at once. Ah. Get all those guys out of the way. Like these two they got beef. They want to just hang out, fight each other. Like before they're even done getting painted. Just trying to find cowboys to impregnate with their face-hugging, face of death thing. That was very descriptive, I know. Whoa, that was a lot of heavy warm gray. Probably a little too much there. It's okay. Okay. I don't have to do a whole lot on these. All right, so now we'll do these guys. Just kind of pick the. Ugh. Everybody is sticking to my gloves right now. Just let me do my thing. All in the mouth. That sounds awful. All right, and then Really cool. Okay. 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 Now let's go ahead and let's get ourselves a purple. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with the purple. And clear out the rest of this. Almost done. There we go. All right, so now let's move over to purple. And we're just going to go even more detailed on these. All right, but I need to find the purple first. The purple. That's a good purple. Ooh, heavy violet. This looks like a good color. Be right back. Alrighty, sir. This is a good color. And it's an extra opaque. I like the extra opaques. They allow me to do a little more thinning. And I'm going to add a little bit of glaze medium to this to just give me just a little bit of translucency. Okay, so this is going to go on really kind of thin. That's what we want. We want to be able to build this color slowly. There we go. All right, so whoa, that was way too much right there. So now you can kind of see where I'm going with this, right? So I'm just mainly trying to hit the tops of the joints, the very edges of the feet. You know, and it's just going to give the model just ever so much interest. So obviously it leaves that little flesh tone with you, but then it gives you a little bit of that purple to remind you that, hey, this isn't normal. These flesh spider guys are not something that you see every day. This remind me of the praying mantises that hang out on blossoms. Some of them have they're like white and they have purple detailing. Always really interesting to see, like, to use some actual stuff in nature to kind of inspire you to paint something a certain way. Gribble gribbles. Gribble gribble. So I think this is they're turning out the way I was hoping they would. So I'm getting pretty stoked on that. The spiders are coming out the way I want them to. I have to dry. I'm gonna have to paint in all those teeth and stuff, but I don't know. I do like this better than the book scheme. It's just more interesting. Tonight is so damn calm. Why are you guys so damn quiet? Do you have a topic or anything you want me to rant about or talk trash about? Maybe try to get me to tell you another weird story or something? Like advertising. Make me tell you a weird story. Playing Fallout whilst listening. Okay, cool. Hope you're having a good game. Let me ask you guys this. It's a serious question. Like, you know, we just finished the Joan of Arc Kickstarter. And from the sounds of it, you guys here in the chat are not newcomers to Kickstarter. So let me ask you, on previous miniatures games Kickstarters, I'm not going to ask you how they went or how they went with regards to being delivered, but I'm going to ask you, how did they go in terms of being painted and played? You know, there's every week somebody tries to get me into a Kickstarter. Oh, you should play it. I'm totally backing the shit out of this Kickstarter, right? So people are all the time, Octave, I'm backing this thing. You're gonna want to back it too. I don't know why their voice sounds like that, but they do it. That's how their voice sounds in the story. And I just have to wonder, like, I have a hard time. You know, I hope this doesn't come off the wrong way, but I consider myself to be a fairly productive wargamer in terms of hobby. Like I get to play quite a bit, and I get to paint quite a bit, and I consider myself to be fairly productive with regards to this stuff. But even I go like, if I go after a Kickstarter in a big way and get a boatload of minis, it's that can get overwhelming too. And I just mentioned Ninja All Stars is a game that I painted all the major clans for, and the core box stuff. I painted a bunch of that, but I still have about 4 or 5, actually closer to like 8 or 9 people that, oh God, what was I saying? 8 or 9 Ronin that I need to finish in order to finish all of Ninja All Stars, and that delivered like a couple of years ago. So yeah. So my question for the chat is, like, I know we get all amped and shit over Kickstarters, because I definitely am that. But I mean, realistically, how much of it do you ever get done? Not so. This doesn't really apply to the people that hire commission painters, because commission painters are basically beholden to the project and the owner, so they just go as fast as they need to, and as they try to do the best job they can. But I'm asking you guys as consumers, like, when was the last time you ordered a miniatures game on Kickstarter, and then how long did it, did you ever actually finish painting the whole thing, and how long did it take you? Story time. I went to back it, but couldn't. People here play Kings of War and other Mantic games, but not with Mantic models. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know. I doubt I'm actually going to use these character models for when I play this game. I'm probably going to play. I'm sorry. Probably going to use Malifaux minis or another ranges minis, at least for the characters. I obviously wouldn't do that for the monsters, because the monsters are cool for one. So I just wouldn't do it. But okay. So now I do actually want to get a final color in here before we consider this color block just about done. Okay, Relic Knights 2.0 was the first miniatures game I bought. Okay, so you have not been in the miniature game Kickstarter game very long, and you still haven't had an opportunity to see whether or not you could finish anything. Like I finished Forgotten King for SDE. I finished that, and there was a shit ton of me, and I went all in on that. I went whatever the dark console or whatever, which is basically they just give you everything. It was kind of a bummer that Relic Knights and the other latest one that they did not give you those options. So you couldn't just like brainlessly go, I want everything because I love this game. I guess that's okay. It just, I didn't expect that they would handle it that way. I would think they would want as much people's money as possible. So another quick Zenithal highlight. Uh-oh. There we go, had a little air leak there. So now I'm just hitting the tops of all the models with this highlight color. So that purple at the end really did kind of give it more of a Cthulhian horror type feel. Anybody else in the chat want to talk about, like, have they ever, don't be ashamed. You can also say, like, look, I backed 3 or 4 of these last year, and they're coming in, between March and now, and I just haven't had the chance, which is totally acceptable. It's interesting how Kickstarter kind of came in on the miniature wargaming side and then resold the gamers that same sort of thing. Like, yeah, of course, more minis is better. And for sure, you'll be able to paint it all. I never fully painted Wrath of Kings. And I backed that for 5 armies and painted up the first 2, sold them off, played for a while after that. Met some of my friends during that period. But yeah, they're just not Who knows? They're just not terribly responsive. Okay. They're looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Let's give them a short break. Man, I'm starting to get drowsy. Well, it's already 11, that's why. Let's work on the, let's color block the basing while we're here too. So I don't want hull red. I can go wood. I think that's an interesting enough color. Okay. Relic Knights and the Zealot miniatures start coming in the spring. I hope so. I hope we don't face any more delays, but you know, with Kickstarter, I've just kind of learned to just, you know, they get here when they get here. And I don't mean to let people off the hook for that, for pulling the shady stuff, but I'm just saying, you know, I try to keep a realistic outlook on, you know, things just get delayed. There are unforeseen issues. Like on the design side, there could be unexpected issues on the retail side. You never know. All right, so I'm going to get a pale color to shoot the wood. And then or I could actually go the other way, make it more look like desert on the outside. So the wood would be more true to like a brown color, and then the desert would be more the like tan color. All right, so let's start with the wood. Now I don't want it to be like that color. Well, not quite that color, because that's way too dark. This is a good color for like weathered wood. This is IAF sand. This will work out well, I think. So I can move all the spiders off to the side because we don't need them right now. All right. Now we're just going to shoot the wood planks and the surrounding areas. Maybe well, no. We'll do all the gribbly guys. Gribbly guys. So yeah, I don't know. Are you guys thinking about that? Like that thought though? Like, are you guys maybe sitting there going, man, I back like, you know, I back responsibly. I back 3, maybe 4 Kickstarter projects a year, right? Have you ever had one like a bigger mainstream miniatures game Kickstarter that they got you on board and they kept you because they kept unlocking stuff, So you knew you were going to get a lot of stuff at the end of the Kickstarter. But then it got there, and you're like, oh my God, I'll never be able to finish it all. That's where my question, where my line of questioning is going. Wow, this guy, no, that's right. Just making sure. Yeah, if you guys don't have stuff to talk about, man, I might have to break out the sake or something. Get my ass talking. Because apparently that's what happens when I get drunk. I just talk. I talk and talk all kinds of stuff. Some of which I'm going to come back and regret. So I had to glue these like right on top of those ghost town bases, which is a little bit of a shame. Because pretty happy with the job I did on the bases, but that's okay. Whoa. Whoa. All right. Okay. All righty, here we go. Let's go ahead and welcome back, Blade Wolf. So I asked a question while you were gone, and the question was, how many times have you backed a Kickstarter that gave you a boatload of miniatures, and you were actually able to like paint most, if not all, the minis, and then actually get like play the game? I'm more asking about. It's almost like I'm almost asking you like, how fulfilled are you with the Kickstarters when they go super big, and you and you end up backing it, and you get this giant box at the end of it? Like, how sufficiently appeased are you, and are you actually able to capitalize off of like having all these new minis? Did it, perfect example is the Ninja All Stars that I backed. Okay, so I backed it, and when it came in, and I was able to paint all the main clans. Never really finished it, but did it work out? Was it worth my while? Is it not? Is it something other than just a box that sits in my closet? Because I know a bunch of guys too that's true for them. That they just got a bunch of they got a whole bunch of giant boxes that sit in their closet. Currently 0, highly fulfilled. I actually have used all the minis for Ninja All Star. That's cool. See, if you're actually getting good experience out of it, then Kickstarter is great for you. I'm just wondering aloud, how many people do all this Kickstarter stuff and then come to realize that, oh God, I'll never use all these minis, or I'm never even going to play this game. I'm never going to break it out. I mean, look at the Bruce Lee game, Dragon Tides. I had that game sitting around forever. And then it was only recently I was like, okay, now that we play board games, I can actually break out some Dragon Tides, so I better paint it up. There we go. Am I doing the rules justice right now? Not yet. Well, let's put it this way. When Relic Knights comes out, yes. I mean, I'm worried about that. I have 3 or 4 Kickstarters currently open. And I'm worried about, what will happen if they show up all at the same time. And I'm like, okay, well, let's start painting through them. And I get through the first one, and then we never play the game. And then I still have the other 2 games there. I remember when Kickstarter was starting to become a thing and just how excited people would be. Sorry, I'm like doing this off frame, but I wanted to back the fantasy wrestling game, but Relic Knights took priority. The fantasy wrestling game. I'm not sure what game that is. Are you talking Way of the Fighter, the card game? I backed that one. Okay. Rumble Slam. Damn, I still want to get Rumble Slam. Such a cool looking game. Okay. Okay. Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Because some people have headed out and gone to bed. If that's you, have a good night. If not, we're gonna stay on just a little bit longer. Because we're doing pretty well here. Such a quiet night. I felt the game looked amazing and could do a simple paint job. Oh, for Rumble Slam? For sure. That game does look amazing. All right. I'll cut this off. We're going to let these guys chill out for a minute. They're looking okay. All right. Get a little. I muted my mic because I didn't want people to hear me chewing and drinking and slurping. Like I said, ASMR, you got to pay for it. All right. So just letting these guys rest for a little bit here. And I'm going to show you some of the character models for the game. Ooh. Oh my gosh, that guy's really stuck on there. There we go. Come on, guys. Ooh, man. Paint really does grab. So here's some of the models. Oh gosh. Let's whoa. We're just gonna focus a little bit. There we go. Whoa, I think I went a little too far. Pretty good. Wow. I'm gonna just stay in focus. Okay. So here's the saloon girl. And the detail's pretty nice. I just don't like the particular sculpt. If I'm gonna play saloon girl, I've got plenty of cool Malifaux minis I can use. Oh, and if you're wondering about the scale, here, look, I just happen to have Vet Brisket on me from Guild Ball. So I can stand these two up next to each other. They're pretty close in scale. We can call that, what, 32? 32, maybe even 35. They're doing all right. So you got her. I probably will paint the, well, no, I don't know. The gunslinger I like. He's a pretty cool sculpt. So you got a gunslinger. You got the marshal. I do like the marshal. And then the bandito. Bandito's awesome. He's a great mini. They're pretty good. I don't know. I still think I've got maybe a little bit higher standard. Like a higher, whatever. Okay. So now I just want to do a generic dry brush on these. Oh gosh. My whole desk is a awful mess here. I'm going to do a generic dry brush on these, and then we can wash them a couple of different ways. Right? We just need a generic dry brush color. That's a good generic dry brush color. Whoa. By the way, I was watching my feedback from last night, and I said I didn't back the Joan of Arc Kickstarter. I did. I did back it. I was lying. Why did I lie about it? I have no idea why I lied about that. Weird. I have no explanation. I'm actually slightly embarrassed by that. Why did I lie? There's no reason for me to lie about that. Yeah, I did back it. I backed it because there were so many things unlocked. I was like, why the hell not? Just throw the dice. We'll worry about that later if there's, you know, anything. Now the story I told, the Scully story, that's 100% true. Like that's totally true. But Joan of Arc Kickstarter, apparently I felt that I should just lie about it. Not really sure why. All right. It's weird. But yeah, it wasn't as if I um was worried I wasn't going to play it. I know we're playing it. It was more a decision of, do I need my own copy? And the answer was initially no. But then I did a little more, like I just did a little more soul searching on it, and I'm like, well, it it's such a spiritual successor to Eldorado, and I love Eldorado. Then why wouldn't I get that game for myself? Um, and paint a set. And then, like I said, the economic, um, just the economics of how much you're going to get with just a base pledge was enough for me. I'm only going to get a base pledge. I'm going to look at some of the other minis in there and see, okay, maybe there might be a few that I'm interested in, but I'm not going to get, yeah, I'm not going big. Yeah, it will cost you $550 to get everything. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. There's, you know, the game that I'm going to spend $550 on is going to be freaking Relic Knights. And it's kind of like my point of tonight's talk here about Kickstarter. Is it really, you kind of have to take an honest look, like, are you really going to get your $550 worth doing that? If you absolutely love the game through the bottom of your heart, and you play it and you paint it religiously, like $550 worth of minis for me would probably be something like, I don't know, we'll call it we'll call it like 4 to 5 straight months of just that, of just painting and playing that game for $550. Then it's, then I would go, okay, yeah, that actually was worth me spending that crazy amount of money on. The dragon is legit. It's about $60. Yeah, I don't know. I like that kind of stuff. I will never have a display case, not anytime soon. So I probably, that's kind of a waste for me to get it. I think it would be fun to paint, so I'll paint it. But again, it's one of those things, like, if somebody hired me to paint it, then I would never need to own it. And maybe another local got really into Joan of Arc, and they got those things and they want me to paint something like that. Whatever. It was still worth it in the end. I think we should rotate, because I'm backing the shit out of the Resident Evil. Yeah, like I didn't, we talked about that and I just backed out of it. I'm like, well, why should I uh back kickstart that game when you're going to have a copy and we're probably going to play your copy? There's no Joan of Arc game, though. I think, I can play different factions, and we can. There's still I still had plenty of good reasons to back that. I'm still kind of curious, why didn't I think it was almost like I was trying to surprise somebody or something. But like what kind of what kind of like painfully stupid logic was I trapped in last night to go, oh yeah, let's just hold back on that one. Like that made no sense to anybody. I want to get that set painted. It's so gorgeous, like the fucking Sistine Chapel. Yeah, this stuff looks amazing in that game. When I saw like you can play like the Templars, like you can play Gilles de Rais, I was like, damn, Gilles de Rais is like one of the most effed up dudes. Totally want to play that. You could play Gilles de Rais in Eldorado, which is cool. And I guess in Eldorado, if you're going to say who is the Joan of Arc equivalent in Eldorado, probably the Traveler. Is a really rad mod. I should break out my Eldorado shit and show you at some point, Nelson, because it's fucking awesome. And the game is fun. And it was completely harmless to get you in the game, at least from a monetary standpoint, because I have enough. We would just play my shit. The problem is the time. It's like, okay, now, now we threw another game into the mix, and now it's like, oh, what do you want to play tonight? And then we have like 12 or 13 different options, and we just can't decide. It was more of an issue when we didn't play at my house, because it's like, God, what do I pack? Because Mark wants to play these two games. Andrew wants to play this game. Jose wants to play these two games, and nobody has the same games. You know what I mean? Sorry, which game? Eldorado. It's an awesome, awesome game. All right, cool. So now we're just gonna let's just do some washes, man. Because this is gonna escalate quickly. Let us do some washes. I'm wondering, for the purple, there's so many different ways I could go here. I could go, I have half a mind to even just go with something really weird. Like go with the Reichland, go with like a Reichland Flesh Shade wash and see what happens. Fuck it. Let's try it. Let's give it a shot. Oh man, this could just undo everything that I just did. Let's do a little test area on the underside of the model. It's not bad. Not bad. Let's see. As long as I keep it relatively thin, feather it out. It gives me that brain look. It brings some of the warmth back to this flesh. Yeah, why the hell not? It's almost not dark enough. That'll work. There we go. That's a lot of Reichland Flesh Shade there. But you don't need much. That's actually way too much. We got to just feather all of it out. Damn, that was a lot of Reichland Flesh Shade. The FNF crew's next RPG experience, a Rabid Congo, has appeared. Pokemon battle music. Rabid Congo, you killed all the player we want blood. It was super effective. The other thing I may do, because Shadows of Brimstone has a CD that you play, I may actually try to figure out on XSplit how to have that as a media that's playing and stream that out. as part of the experience. And that's not bad. This and it's a gloss too, so this is giving us a, whoa, that was way too much. Don't worry, I don't mishandle other people's models like this. This is just my shit, so. And again, this is just chaff, so you want it, you don't really, you're not terribly concerned about it. It's drying kind of cool. I'm almost starting to think maybe the sepia would have been better. That's okay. This is good because it gives you a little more depth without going like way too strong, without looking like it had been dipped. You know what I mean? You don't want that. And it blends the colors in better than just leaving the spiders airbrushed. You know what I mean? You can just, so you just go really, really thin and allow that to kind of just do its thing. I got to get up early tomorrow, check in for my flight, pray for an aisle seat. Aisle seats are very important to me. Like, you got to get the aisle seat, dude. If you fly these little 4-hour flights across the country, get yourself the aisle seat. You need it. You need to get up, take a piss when you want. You don't want to have to talk with people. You can stretch your legs out a little bit, and and then you're the first person in your row to get out when the plane's deboarding. Okay. Yeah, these look okay. But we're just, again, these are like super quick paint jobs on them. Like, this is just what you do. Like, I just want effective looking swarm of spiders. And I think this like skin, this purple almost skin color, is gonna look better on the game mat than the blue. The blues would stand out more, but I think this just looks more Cthulhian. It looks more Lovecraftian. I think I will use other colors on the other creatures, though. Maybe I'll use the sepia. Well, on the tentacles, the back part, I'm going to use a purple wash. I'm just going to use a violet wash there. But then the tentacle side, I'll use like a sepia or an Agrax Earthshade or something like that. This color is too subtle. This Reikland's Flesh Shade. It's not going to do the job very well. So maybe I just do go with like the Agrax Earthshade. All right. So many bugs. Whoa. So I don't really need that. Yeah, I gotta decide. Do I want Agrax Earthshade or do I want Sepia? Let's try Sepia on the tentacles. And if that works, then Sepia it is. Yeah, the sepia, actually, that is quite nice. Yeah, that was already, I can tell, that's already what I want. Okay, cool. Sepia it is. Let's do the rest of the testicles. For you older guys that have watched Better Off Dead. Remember when Monique is describing her experience with her foreign exchange host, and she says, he keeps trying to put his testicles all over me. Testicles? How you say? Octopus? Testicles? No. Tentacles. Great movie. For those of you who have not seen Better Off Dead, go watch it. That's a great little movie. John Cusack, uh, plays it's your typical like John Hughes style movie, but just a little bit darker. Like it's weird because it's poking fun at teenage suicide, but you know, it's the 80s. Like we're fucking realized human beings that would be like, yeah, suicide's a real thing, but we're still gonna laugh at it because that's one of the best things you can do to start talking about shit like that is to make people laugh. What the fuck do we know, right? Anyway, do I want that? Now I'm confused as to what the tentacle guys are gonna get. Are they gonna get? I don't want them to get a purple wash, so I'm just gonna give them a straight sepia wash, like all the way through, to just kind of blend in everything, like bring it all home. Bring it all home, man. What's the matter, kitty? You want out? Okay, come on. There you go. Okay. He'll probably. Oh, I think I actually latched the door. Necromunda. Are you thinking about that game? That's not bad. A little heavy-handed on this wash, but gosh. Yeah, it's not bad. It'll have nice depth. I keep telling myself that. It'll have good depth. You just wash it. Which it will. I mean, it could obviously look a lot better than this, but these are the Griblies, man. We're just pushing through. There we go. So what do you think? I mean, so you're content. Okay, I'd only play female characters if I had to. Otherwise, I'm content with Batman for now. Fair enough. So, so Blade Wolf said he basically has had positive experiences, um, getting able to experience the fruit of his Kickstarter investments. Right. I can kind of say that for myself too, with the biggest exception to that probably being Dragon Tides. But even that was painted. Like everything that um, that I've backed on Kickstarter, Forgotten King, I painted all of the Forgotten King, like everything from wave 1, wave 2. I did all that in 30 days. And we played dozens and dozens of games of Forgotten King. Like that Kickstarter was money very well spent. Ninja Division did a great job. I own everything for SDE, and we've played all of it at least once. So like that's, in my opinion, that's a good experience enjoying your Kickstarter. But like I know too many people, I would say, that back Kickstarters and throw hundreds and hundreds of dollars at a Kickstarter that they absolutely love and adore at the time that it's out. And then by the time it gets here, they put it in their closet. Like oh, look at this giant box. And they might go through and look at it and drool a little bit, and then they just put it in their box. They put it back in the box and put it back in the closet. And I'm two minds about that too. It's their prerogative. That's really what they want to do with their money. I'm not going to even attempt to dissuade them or anything. I just am asking, is that worth your money? That experience, like for a collector, if that's what you are, and I think a lot more miniatures guys are collectors than even they're conscious of. Oh gosh, if you're gonna do that and be happy with it, then fine. I have no qualm about it. I just get worried about it. Like, oh, people, every time there's a cool Kickstarter, there's people, hey, Octave, I'm going to back this Kickstarter. It's amazing. I'm going to go so deep into this Kickstarter. I'm going to spend, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I'm like, cool, but make sure, like, I don't know, make sure it's worth your time is all I'm saying. Make sure it's worth your time and your money. And I think I've just been fortunate. I've been fortunate with the stuff that I've backed, because either that or I'm sort of conscious of, okay, well, I'm going to back it for this amount because I'm not going to be able to use more than, the minis from the core set. Okay. Gosh, we are just flying on these. But that's okay. That's by design. So here's some violet. So now we're going to do the backs of the tentacles, this violet color. And that's nice. Oh, like keep knocking shit around because just got too much stuff on the desk right now. Let me ask you guys this. Yeah, the purple's nice after you wash. You just let that dry down. It's just a nice, easy thing to do. While I'm away, do you guys want me to post like vlog style videos, or do you want me to like answer questions or anything? Like I can do like a 2 to 3 minute video of the day, kind of go over what we did and sites that we saw, that kind of stuff. I can do that if you're interested. And then I can also we could try to come up with a question for me to just answer or talk about, kind of like in the veins of like the July painting challenge that I did with War Boss Tay, where it's like you had a daily question and you kind of do a little bit of a vlog style video and just say, here's what we did and here's what I'm working on. Oh, thanks, Nelson. Yeah, I don't know. We can come up with some questions. They don't have to be specifically hobby or war game related. It's easier if they are, but if you want to ask me, hey, what do you know about bird watching or so? No, don't ask me that. But you know what I mean. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a hobby question. You can it can be like semi-related to hobby. So we'll come up with yeah. So if I'm going to do that, we can come up with some questions, stuff that we can talk about. Not too bad. Not looking too bad. The final bit we need to do before we paint in the rims, like you can see, like these are just flying by. This is typically how it goes too when I'm trying to paint something, just paint, rank, and file shit to move on to other parts of a project or to finish a project like this. I move pretty quick and we do what we got to do. Oh, actually, I kind of like that Agrex. Use that on the inside of the tentacles as well. Nice little layer there to give it a little bit of sheen. And hear the cat. He's gonna try to get in. I hear him. He'll probably start crying a little bit. If he starts crying, I'll let him in. I'm a little nervous going to Chicago. Not for my own sake, just more for like, my family here. It's tough. 2 kids by yourself is tough, and my wife is gonna have to be with them in the evenings by herself for 3 straight nights. Grandma can come over and stuff during the afternoon. I think that's part of the plan, that they're gonna have grandma over for some of that, but like I'm talking like in the evenings. She's, trying to get them ready for bed um, and then other shit too, like the cat boxes, throwing out the garbage, stuff like that. That's also like stuff that I'm nervous. Not nervous. I'm just like stressed out about it. I feel bad too, like that she has to do that while I'm gone. But it is what it is. It's part of the job. So that's cool. And then I get back Thursday afternoon. Probably be too tired to game at night, and also I'm not going to do that to my wife. I'm not going to just come back and like I'm home and let's get a bunch of people over so we can game. That would be the shittiest thing ever. Right? I would not do that. So we're gonna skip, or at least I'm gonna skip this Thursday coming up. So you guys can go ahead and schedule gaming wherever you're gonna do it, CQ or Game Master or whatever. Game Master is just too dicey. I wouldn't do that there. You'd end up with some like 50 people playing Hearthstone again. So, okay. Wow. Yeah, they're coming along. They're looking pretty good. I'm using this as kind of an all-purpose shade as well. No more. It was super slow last week. No more of that Hearthstone. Oh, that's good. Good to know. That was crazy, man. The Hearthstone stuff. I haven't been to Game Master in a while. I do eventually want to get back to gaming. I think we're going to need to. If our group grows any, we're kind of at capacity. But maybe like it's one of those things where we get in a game at CQ, right? And then, by the time it's like 7:38, we can go back here because some people may have left and come back here and stream a game. Which would be interesting. That means what I would have to do is set up all the streaming stuff over here before I leave, and then go over there, play whatever game we're gonna play, and then come back here, like jump in the car, come back here and stream something. Streaming the games has been really kind of a neat little commodity. And that's also doubly good too, because my wife does like having me home and available in the evenings on Thursdays. Like she hasn't done it yet, but I do. There may be scenarios where she has to like pull me out of this room to help her, and I think that's totally fine. I don't have an issue with that at all. I just think that that's probably coming. That's part of the reason why I'm over here, not just because I can stream from here. It's cool. I'm really liking that capability. And the Thursday games do okay. Like people watch them and they leave good comments and stuff on the Thursday games. It's crazy. It's crazy. There's like almost no actual painting done on these paintings. You just, here we go. And just basically let the airbrush and the dry brush and the wash speak for you. And as long as you don't overpower it, you're good to go. Oh, thanks, Nelson. Well, this is what we're going to be fighting against pretty soon now on the Friday night games. Like, we're like painting these so fast. I wonder. Okay. So now, the only thing left to do is to paint in this little black stripe. And then that's all she wrote, man. So let's move the spiders. This is just a crazy ass money shot. Yeah, Octave, your bat cave is nice. It's been nice gaming there. Yeah, no, I love gaming here. It's really nice for me because all my shit's here, and I don't have to lug a bag around or anything. We can just set up, and all the mats are here. Whatever we need to set up, there's no second guessing. Oh, I brought the wrong game, or I didn't bring enough of this. It's all here. We got enough. We may have to figure out how to get a third table in here, because that would help. Ugh. Okay, so now it's kind of cool too, because you get if you don't live close to us, you don't get to game with us. At least Thursday night, you can watch our games, and then Friday night you can watch us game again. kind of cool. Like, it's to the point where like a good 80% of my hobby life is streamed at this point. I don't know if that's good or bad. And you guys are, and I'm like drinking too. But I don't drink that often. I swear to you, I don't drink that often. But it's for whatever reason, I like to, when I'm doing this kind of stuff and we're just having fun, I do like to just drink. But I'm telling you, I'm not that guy. Like, I don't. Friday night, I like to do the thing. It's a really fun part of the game. But I don't know. And I'm gonna go to Chicago, and I'm gonna drink a lot in Chicago too. So fair warning, that's gonna be a thing while I'm in Chicago. And I'm like, I'm really not that guy. I don't know. The guy I'm traveling with to Chicago. We're colleagues, but we're also pretty good friends. Like, we've been working together a long time. Um, Back in the day, when I did so much traveling, they would send R&D would send people to go with me, that travel with me. They kind of just get them, get them their sea legs, right? Get them accustomed to what you do when you travel. They would send me all these kind of newer guys. He got hired on um, maybe a couple of years after I'd started working there, and first time out on the road, I start taking them to these places. I'm like, here's what we're gonna do when we're done with work, and I forget. I don't remember the first town when I was in. I think I took him. I think it was Seattle, and I took him to like this weird kind of punk rock bar, and so we had some drinks there. And that, to him, that was weird. Like, that was kind of culture shock. He really, you know, he'd been basically at home, like the chemist and a dad and a family guy and all this stuff for a while, and then he starts working over here, and I'm like, okay, well, and I start taking him out, and just like he starts to enjoy it. Like, he gets like the travel bug, and fast forward several years later, he's looking at an empty nest. His kids are grown, or mostly grown, and so he's the one now that loves to travel. Meanwhile, I went and had a couple of kids, and I don't like to travel now. So the uh, the roles have reversed a little bit. Um, he still relies on me to find the weird or the fun places to go hang out, uh, no matter what town we're in. And I do seem to have a knack for that. So I guess that's my major contribution on this trip, is finding out. Oh, there's a really cool pub over here. Let's go to that. You know. So the plan, Monday night, we're gonna stay local because we're just gonna get off the plane. We'll buy some supplies if we need them, and then we'll go have dinner at one of the places like right across from the hotel, like your basic business traveler traps. You're with the, I feel bad for those. I feel bad for those joints because they know, like, their clientele are like people that are visiting that part of town for business. And business traveler guys are assholes for the most part. You know what I mean? Especially the guys that do it all the time. They just come off as like so entitled. And I've seen this 100 times too. It's like with the business guy. You know, he's going to hit on the waitress because why the hell not? He's away from his wife. He can do his thing. The waitresses, they just, you know, and they play to it too. They know like they can flirt back and maybe get a little bit better tip out of it. But they have to give him some attention, right? They have to give him some conversation. So I guess it's a, you know, whatever. It's a straightforward transaction. And I also can't say that I'm like not guilty of that. When I've traveled by myself a lot, um, I guess I didn't try to strike up conversations, but they feel like they have to. The waitresses usually, the wait staff usually feels like they feels compelled to talk to you a little bit more because you're in a strange town. You go out to have dinner. You're going to sit there by yourself, basically look at your phone or your laptop, and they're going to be like, "No, here's tell me about yourself and what are you doing out here and all this kind of stuff." I don't get into that too much. Um, I always get when that happens to me, I always get the girl that's like, she looks at my ID or whatever. You get the like waitress or whatever. She looks at your ID and she's like, "Oh, I used to live out there." I always get that. I used to live out there. I used to live in Orange County, right? And I've heard this story so many times. I don't know if it's true, but I've heard it so many times from like waitresses, wait staff, and that kind of stuff. That's from Orange County, but now they're in like Bumblefuck, like they're in Ohio or they're in something like that. And I'm like, well, okay, we used to live in Aliso Viejo or whatever, right? What are you doing out here in, Bumblefuck? Um, and invariably, 100% of the time, it was always, I followed a guy out here. I followed a guy out here. Oh, he was going to make me happy. We were going to get married, some shit like that. I followed a guy out here. Things didn't work out. Now I'm waiting fucking tables and in Bumblefuck. That happened. Yeah, I get that story all the damn time. So Monday night we're gonna do that. We're gonna go talk to some waitresses who lived out here. No, they won't talk to us because we're not alone. We're gonna just hang out. What was that? Nope, nope. What was that? I don't even know what the hell. What are you referring to? So that's Monday night. Tuesday night, we're going for pizza pot pie. Pizza pot pie is dope as shit. Um, Only one place in the world you can get it, and it's in Chicago. It's a very specific restaurant. It's a very small restaurant. Um, it got like I've been going there for years and years, and it got famous because of the Travel Channel, and Guy Fieri showed up down there, and now it's a thing. Now it's like a 2-hour wait to get in. Um, so we're doing that Tuesday night, and then Wednesday night, I don't know. Wednesday night, I'm thinking I'm gonna try to find a Bavarian pub or an Irish pub. I mean, those are always good. So we'll see. I got to find out what my buddy's dietary restrictions are now, because he ain't getting any younger, and I know he has some like dietary things that he has to follow. So I'll let these dry for a minute. Let's see. When the waitress go and follow a guy to some town and they get stuck there. Yeah, it's such a freaking common story. Like I'm telling you, I've heard it a minimum of a dozen times. And if it doesn't matter if I'm in North Carolina or if I'm in, Florida or Washington State or Maryland, any of those things, I always ask, like, how, because they'll tell, like I said, they bring it up. I'm from there. I've been out there. I lived in Huntington Beach or Aliso Viejo or Laguna Niguel. I always hear it. And I know, I guess I can say that I know at least they've done their homework if it's not true. I think it's true though. Like the fact that they're like, I lived outside of Redondo. Like the fact that they can tell me that, it lends credence to the story. So I don't see any reason why they would lie about something like that. But again, it's always like, oh, well, I followed a guy out here and now I'm stuck out here. I'm like, God, that is just, I don't even know what to say to you. I feel bad, but also not. I don't know. Gonna head to bed, but I'll catch you. Yeah, have a good one. I'm actually going to bed myself too. I mean, that I'm done for the night. This is what we were planning on doing. So not bad. That was, believe it or not, that's 2 dozen pieces left. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 8 pieces left for Shadows of Brimstone, and I'll be done with that entire set. The other pieces left to do are going to be a lot more intricate than these, but they're not that much more intricate. Let me show you a few of them, or while we're doing this, and then I'm going to go to bed, get up early, and do the thing. All right, so let's back these up. Okay, so I showed you the four heroes. Oh God. Ugh. But then you also get 3 of these. You get 3 of these like these guys, which are cool. And then you get the big boss monster, which is really cool looking Cthulhian thing. It's a big monster. It comes on a 60 mil base, and that'll be fun. Again, these are almost all airbrush, so there's not, like, this isn't serious stuff. In fact, I think what I'll do tomorrow morning, if I get up early enough, I'll start blocking the colors here. Okay, so leave the comments up for another minute or so, and then we'll call it. I appreciate you guys tuning in and viewing. I mean, I know I'm on all the time, so it's not like you guys miss me. But it's cool to just come check in. And yeah, a lot more stayed than Friday night. All right. Yeah, looks like we're just everyone saying good night now. So yeah, have a good night, everybody. And yeah, I don't know if I'll be streaming Sunday night. We'll see. I probably will. You know me. Have a good night, everybody. We'll catch you on the next one. Whoa. What? What am I doing?